Hey, Anant. Well, thank you again for, all the time here this afternoon. What we're going to do next is just go through a list of questions that Compass Group wants some answers on. Don't need to be, too long, but definitely, want to give enough detail to, show that, that we believe you, as we both believe you're the right fit for this position. Does that work for you?
Sounds perfect to me. Let's hit the show on the road.
Awesome, Anant. Well, first question is going to be based on automation first architecture. So I'd like you to answer, how do you personally decide what should be automated versus human controlled?
Right. So there are a couple different ways of um, um, we look at it, right? There are a couple different ways we actually want to look at it. So while we are designing a process, we really want to think through what are the aspects during the design process itself. We want to think through what are the aspects, what are the categories that we want to automate, and what are the categories that we think we might not want to automate, rather we want manual intervention. One such an example is, if I am trying to put together a CI/CD automated driven pipeline, right? In that case, different stages that pipeline will process through before it gets checked in to the main branch. I might want to keep most of it automated, but rather I might want to involve a human intervention of approval before it really gets merged into the main. That's the process, you see. That's
100%.
the process way of thinking about what needs to be automated and what needs an human intervention. That's one
Awesome, man.
example, and that's one way of what I think a human intervention has to happen versus automation has to happen.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah, awesome. I think that's a great answer for the automation and, what needs to be done manually there. And next question is going to be, based on reliability. So how do you personally design systems that recover without human intervention?
That's a very good question, in my opinion. Um, it starts with the design process itself. What do we what do we put in for self-healing of the system? When we look at the design of the system, when we look at the bird's eye view of the system, that's where we would really like to, or we should not like to, I would say, we should think about the things that needs to be, the components that needs to be automated. I will Things need to be automated. I'm sorry. I mean to say the components that needs to be provisioned in a reliable structure. So when I am at UPS, right? Let me take this example at UPS. So at UPS, I am designing this data platform. When I say I'm designing data platform, I should be honest. I'm designing not the application side of the data platform or the data side of the data platform. I am designing the resilience, the reliability of the platform. The application and the data both put together will come into this platform, right? Now, how am I making sure that this platform is I have this platform designed and provisioned into production as well? So how am I designing? What is my design is that I have um, 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 I have designed 4 lower environments, and I have designed the production environment. So I designed a sufficient. I made sure that we build sufficient lower environments so that we can test enough. Then comes my production environment. Every component in this lower environments, as well as in this production environment, we are a humongous Azure and GCP based systems, right? Every component that I have designed, I made sure that platform had got three faucets, 3 categories of faucets, 100% incorporated in it. The platform is reliable, scalable, and resilient enough. For, for me to achieve these 3 things, for the platform to be capable of having these 3 things, I have utilized the tools. I have utilized the tools for monitoring, for alerting, and provisioning the various different GCP resources and various different Azure resources themselves. How many clusters do we configure? Capacity planning. How do we plan capacity? Is all what have been considered to make sure that scalability, reliability, and resilience of the system have been incorporated.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I think that's a great answer right there. And, like you said, reliability, scalability, that's what's going to be most important here. And next question focused on the AI piece involved this role. So how have you personally used AI in production operations?
That's a fantastic question. And I love that question. You know why? Because I use 2 AI components. I use ML Ops of Splunk. I use AI-driven triage analysis of Grafana. How do I use it? So Splunk is my favorite. Grafana is something 5 years ago, I was the one who brought in Grafana to CVS Health Pharmacy System. Still, I would like to pick on Splunk. Why? Because when someone brings AI into the mix, Splunk Grafana is getting there, but Splunk beats it. I have designed a system along the side of my observability team. We have I'm giving you the example of my experience from CVS Health. Okay. At CVS Health for the pharmacy department, we had an observability team. It was a humongous team, I should say. So we had a pharmacy team. So myself and the architect of observability team, we kept our heads together in designing this AI operation, AI ML ops of ML ops feature of Splunk. So we even partnered with Splunk. We even had conversations with Splunk. So the way we designed this AI ops was ML ops, I should say, not AI ops. ML ops was primarily, this feature was primarily utilized for production support to reduce the mean time of recovery and mean time to detect. These are our 2 primary goals that we were going behind to utilize ML ops of Splunk. Now, we designed a system in a way that if CVS pharmacy stores call help desk, the help desk plugs in a SMC in ServiceNow. They plug in a issue. There is a issue in SMC, and an incident is triggered as part of the SMC ServiceNow process to production support. Now, Splunk, we hooked up SMC with Splunk using the hooks, Splunk hooks, and then this Splunk triggers in. Splunk's AI/ML capability, we have written models behind in Splunk. We have taken Splunk's expertise in writing the models, and these models observe the issue that has been reported in the ticket. It will try to reconcile the logs and understand what is actually causing the pain and triggers the next workflow of what is the cause of the issue, what are the symptoms, and what probable recommendations that AI can provide. All of this is generated out of the models that have been incorporated, and it's sent off to production support along with the alert. Back in days, only alert used to go. Now in the alert, all of this is incorporated. Now production support can kick in, understand this. If one of the recommendations is what they also think that is appropriate, they would implement it. If they think something else is appropriate, of course, there is a human intervention is what I'm trying to say in that process. This is how I have utilized AI/ML, ML ops of Splunk.
Makes perfect sense. And yeah, it sounds like pretty efficient process. Have the AI kind of analyze everything and then, give it off to, the help desk or whoever's resolving and say, hey, this is what we think you should do. But that person may say, hey, I think there's a different way to do it. And that's awesome,
As of,
man.
I mean, just one point there, right? As of today's day, I would also say AI is so much incorporated. We have incorporated AI so much. We use AI for design. We use AI for architecture. We use AI for brainstorming designs. We use AI for architectural designs. We use AI to understand what are the corners that we are missing to understand while we are designing the reliability of the given system. So AI is around the corner in every facet or category of the job that we do as of today's day.
Man, awesome, man. It just seems like it's growing more and more and becoming more pertinent in these types of jobs.
Yes,
And so awesome answer there. And then next question is going to be back focused on observability. So how should observability drive automated decisions?
oh, like I just said, it's fantastic. I mean, I probably rolled into with my example into the observability. When I answered about AI, I was actually taking example of Splunk, which is an observability tool.
Yep, didn't even
Uh,
as I was asking that, I didn't realize you already pretty much answered that one.
right.
Awesome,
So
awesome. There you go. Great job. Awesome, man. Well, and last one, and this is going to be executive communication. How would you explain reliability architecture to executives?
um, in my opinion, reliability has to, every company has to understand, every IT department, every company has to understand that IT is on the table, right? IT is not back office anymore. IT is on the table and IT brings business, IT improves business, right? With that being said, within IT, within information technology, within IT, reliability is so important at this point in time. Reliability has to be understood as a product. Reliability is not just a feature that is provided, you see, that is provided by to an application, to a platform, to a database, to a something. No, reliability is a product, and that's how reliability has to be understood, and that's what I would vouch at executives that reliability has to be understood as a product. What does that even mean? Now, reliability as a product, how do we explain reliability as a product, right? The features, scalability, resilience, and reliability of the given system, of the given architecture, given system, has to be explained in the sense of what would happen if the system is not available for a given X amount of time, or what would happen if the system slows down. Put simple, well, even before I give you an example of putting it simple, I would explain to executives, if the given product's reliability is not achieved or is not up to the given SLAs or SLIs, I would say SLAs. If it is not up to the SLAs, then it would really hamper our business and our users' interest in utilizing our features, our products. That's how I would explain to executives. Put
I think
simple.
that
You see, put simple. I will, for our conversational purpose, I will put it very simple, right? YouTube. As of today's day, as of today's day, users are so much, users attention span is only few seconds. Users attention span is only a few seconds. Your product has to be reliable and resilient enough should to provide the output requested by the user in that few seconds, in that few within their attention span. If we are unable to do that, then the product will fall behind. And hence reliability in total should be considered as a product and has to be applied layered to every product that is in the radar for the given IT department or for the given IT organization, and improvements have to be brought to the table.
awesome, man. I described that perfectly. Honestly, I think I actually understood that 100% what you meant by that. And yeah, if the systems aren't reliable and they're not, staying, providing the use that they're supposed to the customer, then, the customer's not going to be happy or the end user's not going to be happy. And that's how you lose money at the end of the day.
So true.
Awesome. I'm going to stop recording right now.